I'm Rick, and I'm building Billy. Today, I want to talk about adding rubbers and rigging to the spear gun. The stock and the handle have been constructed. The surface has been sealed and varnished. All the metal parts have been reinstalled. It's time to add the cords, lines, and rubber components. The rubbers provide the motive power to throw the spear. Rob Allen, who manufactured the spear, recommends two 14mm rubbers. Billy's built to match this specification. As a rule of thumb, rubbers can be stretched to 4 times their normal length. At 4:1, the rubber's output is the maximum amount of power, but they're hard to load and they wear out faster. Personally, I prefer to go for a less extreme stretch. The rubbers on Billy are somewhere around about 3:1 stretch. These longer rubbers will be easier to load and they'll last longer. The new owner can, if they so wish, shorten them later. YouTube is chockers with videos on how to tie rubbers, so I won't bother to repeat it here. The spear needs to be attached to the gun or to the float. Billy's new owner will most likely be using the spear gun in Western Australian waters. I asked advice from a friend who's had decades of experience spearfishing in these waters. He suggested that for a shooting line, mono is the best all-round material. Billy has an open muzzle. That is, the spear is held down onto the stock by the shooting line being wrapped around it. So the shooting line has to be just the right length. Once I fitted it and got the length right, I crimped the shooting line to the spear and crimped a loop into the other end. Not everybody might agree with this, but I like to put a shock absorber into the shooting line. I tie it in, but a line attaches to the muzzle. In my experience, shock absorbers reduce the chances of a fish tearing off the spear. They also tension the shooting line when the gun's loaded, and this helps to hold the spear down better. I make my own shock absorber from Spectra braid and shock cord. At one end it's tied to the muzzle of the spear gun, and at the other end it's tied to the loop in the shooting line. There's a Spectra lanyard tied into the stock just in front of the butt. The lanyard can be used to hang the gun off a float when you're not using it. Say, for example, if you're trying to pull a cray out of a hole. The lanyard can also be used as part of a tethering rig tied to the float line. I included another rig option, a breakaway. A breakaway allows the spear and the shooting line to separate from the gun but still remain attached to the float. This can be handy if there's sharks around, as it leaves your gun in the hand and you can use it to poke away the sharks. The stretchy rubber grips and gets stuck in the hole. It also provides a bit of tension pulling on the shooting line. But when there's a really hard pull, like when you get a big fish pulling on the spear, the rubber will stretch and it'll pop out of the hole in the spear gun, coming loose, breaking away. So, Billy's almost completely there, but not quite. There's a few more pieces of advice and they'll be the subject of the next video.